everyone, this is Speak Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to take a look back at the racing action drama Days of Thunder. Released on June 27th, 1990, it stars Tom Cruise, Robert Duvall, Nicole Kidman, Randy Quaid and Cary Elwes, and it was directed by the late Tony Scott. The main story here follows young US racer Cole Trickle, who finds himself recruited to drive for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. He's mainly supported here by chief car builder Harry Hodge, who has come out of retirement and builds him a new vehicle to drive in the major championships. Throughout this tale, we see Cole come into constant clashes not only with his own team, but also with well-established champion Rowdy Barnes, and competitive rivalry which leads to certain injuries, and also he develops a relationship with the hospital doctor Claire Lewicki. And over the tale, we ask whether Cole will overcome all of these dramas and obstacles to become a success in the racing championship. So when we look back at Days of Thunder, I think, to be honest, it's a bit of a strange movie. It has all of the elements of a mainstream blockbuster. We have the young raw hero with lots of potential, the experienced mentor, and the various dramas that they go through as he tries to get him to fulfill his potential. We have the main rivalry and antagonist in terms of the established champion. We have the love story, we have the action. But strangely, this is a film that's not really about anything, or it's not really much of a story. On a surface level, you feel there is much going on, but underneath the material, there is a certain lacking in terms of depth and over layers, certainly in terms of all the characters. There just isn't much texture here in terms of the overall storytelling. Now, in terms of the film's production, having lead actor Tom Cruise reunite once more with director Tony Scott and producers Don Simpson and Joe Bruckheimer after their massive epic success of Top Gun from 1986, and yes, with this film, it was clearly intended to replicate the same impact of the earlier story, replacing fighter jets, this time with racing cars. And yes, the racing sequences themselves are expertly well done, in that typically flashy, hyper-edited style that Tony Scott has become renowned for. They do generate a certain action and spectacle as we come to the climatic race also, and are probably the best part of the film entirely, much like what the aerial scenes were for Top Gun itself. And much like Top Gun, we have the soapy dramatics, the love romance as I mentioned before, and also the main soundtrack theme. This time we have the title song Show Me Heaven, which was sung by Maria McKee, and I can vividly remember that song being played absolutely everywhere, constantly all over video and radio during the time of this movie's release. Very much in the same style as Berlin's Take My Breath Away for Top Gun. So yes, it shares much similarities with Top Gun, both in its strengths in terms of the action, and also its weaknesses in terms of the characterization and also the storytelling. And much like Top Gun, I think it has certain things going for it, but Days of Thunder overall just results in a mildly entertaining derivative story where you watch it once or twice and you never go back again. I think the main difference between Days of Thunder and Top Gun is that Top Gun had those iconic moments, those memorable scenes or quotes of dialogue, that whether you were a massive fan of the film or not, they just stayed with you. And of course, Top Gun was very much that fabric of 80s nostalgia and entertainment. Something, of course, that carried forward and very much helped the success of the sequel Top Gun Maverick when it grossed over $1 billion back in 2022. But Days of Thunder just doesn't have those same type of elements. It really just motors along at a functional pace. Nothing really stays with you. Nothing really makes that too much of an impression outside of the racing sequences. And that's no criticism of the performances. Tom Cruise is fine in the lead role. Again, this was at the time when he was playing these type of characters, the young, raw character, with lots of talent, but also lots of imbalance and a rebellious nature. Robert Duvall is always a sound presence in a supporting role. And again, the mentor type would be something that he would very much be played throughout the 1990s decade. The love relationship is fine, if not completely necessary. Not really great chemistry between the two characters, but again, it's nothing to completely ruin the film entirely. But as I said before, this is a bit more of a disposable throwaway type of story as opposed to Top Gun. And perhaps this was reflected in the overall release of the film, where it was a decent success at the box office, grossing 157 million from a budget of around 60 million. Originally intended, the budget was meant to be around 35 million, but due to certain arguments between the producers, the costs escalated even further. I suppose the other memorable legacy of this film was, of course, the first pairing between actors Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, who at the time, their relationship was very much of a famous story within Hollywood. They would go on to reunite again later on in 1992 in Ron Howard's Far and Away, and a couple of years after that with Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. Overall, I would probably say that this is the weakest out of their whole collaborations together. And I wouldn't really rate Days of Thunder amongst the high outstanding moments within the career of Tony Scott either. But as I said before, it's a decent enough drama. If you are looking for a mild Friday night entertainment with nothing else on, especially if you are with your girlfriend or your wife, nothing horrible, nothing extraordinary, but nothing too bad overall. So there's my other thoughts and feelings when looking back at Days of Thunder from 1990. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you have any other further movies, television series, or any other topics or issues within the pop entertainment industry that you'd like to see me cover within the channel, also let me know within the comments and I'll see if I can provide further commentary for you on that subject matter within the future. Please consider hitting like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.